Zia from the Muslim Women's Network UK. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
What do you make of this call from police to Muslim women?
I think that it's an emotional plea. I think many women, myself included, would want to protect my son or my loved ones from going and fighting in Syria, maybe potentially losing their lives. And if for me that meant that I would have to do something about protecting them and keeping them at home, and that meant involving the police or another agency, I think I would do that.
Presumably that is not something that people take lightly, because I suppose if you do that, if you alert them to something you're afraid of, then your child, your son, is also marked for life in some ways.
Of course, and it would involve a lot of soul searching, and it really would have to weigh up what their beliefs were, their reasons against your own reasons, and ultimately the interpretation of faith.
The implication in that counter-terrorism police are asking or putting this forward is that it's not happening currently.
I think that that's quite implicit, that they're not getting the results that they want. Young people, men and women as well, are travelling to Syria to fight, and so they've thought of a way that they can counteract this, and that way is to appeal to women, mothers, I think predominantly, sisters, maybe wives even, as a way in.
But do you accept that possibly not enough Muslim women are coming forward with the information?
Yes, of course. They won't be, because there's a real fear of, as we've said, of people becoming marked. Also there is mistrust where the police are concerned. There isn't enough engagement with the community, with women, to say that this is how it's going to be, this is what support you can expect, and this is why we would like you to do this. I think that has got to be made very clear from the outset.
You have children of a sort of age that might be thinking about what is going on in the area. What are the sort of conversations that families are having around what's going on in Syria?
Personally, my own family, we discuss lots of things, including what is going on in Syria, and we have been doing so since the uprising. I think what needs to be made clear is to look at the views that young people have. Why are they behaving in this way? Why are they talking about, wanting to fight, wanting to go and join jihad? Do they really understand what jihad is? And these are the types of conversations we have. Is there really not enough work to be done at home initially?
Can I ask you, Zia, do you know anyone personally who has spoken to anti-terrorism police about a relative?
Personally, no.
Do you know of anyone within your community who has?
I don't, and I think that's a real mark of the mistrust, because I have quite extensive networks.
And you would put that down to mistrust?
Yes.
It's actually, are you saying that amongst that's a lot of people you're potentially talking about there? You would assume that amongst those people, someone would have some concerns about a member of their family?
I would imagine so, yes.
And yet they don't talk to the police and the authorities?
No. As I say, there is that mistrust. There's a lack of support. What happens when you come forward? What happens when you speak to maybe your local community police person, or you go to a dedicated hotline? What is going to happen to you? Because
I suppose there's no middle ground, is there? Once you've gone to someone, given them a name of your loved one, there's no middle ground there. They are then under the spotlight in some sense, whether or not it proves that they did do anything.
Yes, as you said, they're marked, and I would imagine it's not just them, then other members of that family would also come into that as well.
So what sort of assurances would people need, do you think, in order to be able to feel they would like to come forward?
I think first and foremost, local officers, police forces need to engage not just on a superficial level, but really engage with the community that they're hoping to receive assistance from. They need to be quite clear. I do understand that there are some things that can't be talked about, but in terms of disengagement, in terms of coming forward, they need to be quite clear what it is that they're looking for and why, and also then give assurances.
Can I just ask, does the concerns you say about the mistrust mean that this appeal basically won't work?
I think it can work with the right approach.
Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. 17 minutes past 7. We'll have sport shortly as well, but let's catch up on the weather. Alex, morning.